Second Spin, featuring Lydia Lunch, myself, Tim Dahl, with a very special guest today, Nandor Nevai. Welcome.
Let me tell you a little bit about what I know about Nandor, which is really not that much. Nandor and I haven't known each other for that long, but we have some strange interstellar connection I can't even decode. I'd consider him a philosopher, a writer. He has done music, but basically his entire life is some weird form of perverse creation. Nandor...
He's also a filmmaker.
Yes.
I've heard about his pornography, but thank the good goddess I've yet to witness the atrocities.
It turns out all of that comes from the motion picture, and I started doing what if my voice was like, it turns out that all of that was like people would be so fucking disappointed.
If your voice is like that,
or what if I was like,
I started out in film, and
Nandor,
my scrotum was like two dimes in a sock.
If my right fist goes up your anus, your voice will get lower.
Oh, right on, sister.
I think you're doing good, honey.
I was hoping we would have get that New York vibe where it seems like a conversation, but really you just have a bunch of miscreants yelling at each other, but it's supposed to be a convo.
Just give it a few minutes.
Okay, it'll happen.
Nandor,
yes.
I just described you the best I could.
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that? I mean, what do you consider yourself?
A psychedelic criminal.
That's why I love you. What do you
too,
consider
thanks.
me, honey?
You are one of those kind of poets. I call them action poets.
You're the only one that can say that word to me.
They don't want to read their shit. They want to you want to fight with people while you're doing poetry, and that's why you associate with musicians.
Brutal ones.
Plus, you like to stay up late, the rest of that. But
Nandor, I am always the last man standing, except for occasionally Steve Neverleave, which would be Tim Dahl.
That's it. You guys are hard to kill. If I had to kill you guys, I could take 2 contracts and I still wouldn't be sure. I'd be like, I don't know.
How can you kill me if I'm already dead? That's Biggie Smalls. I didn't say that. I'm just saying. So, Nandor, as a psychedelic criminal, you've experimented in many different art formats. And your latest thing, which sits very close to my crotch, is your new upcoming book.
Yeah.
Or books.
Right.
Can you describe? I'm going to read a little passage, but can you please give me an intro to what these are and what they're called?
So, Weasel Walter been nagging me to write. I would tell him about this crazy shit that was happening to me.
Your real life experiences as an art criminal.
Correct. I don't deserve to live, and everybody.
Who said that?
You don't deserve to live.
There's about 700 billion people that don't deserve to live before I get to you.
Why are you still living if you don't deserve
So the sons of God were called before God. Okay?
Wait, excuse me.
And among them was Satan. And God said, where have you come? From where have you come? And Satan said, from going to and fro on the earth and walking up and down on it.
And you just walked up and down the hill. So does that mean that you are the true son of God or Satan?
Good question, hon. I think there's a crossover here. I don't know. It's just we're going to look into it.
Nandor is hard to die.
He's hard to die, and I'm going to say right now, I do not believe in the concept of God nor his sons. However, if God did have a son, of course he would fucking torture him, hang him upside on a cross, nail him to himself in a loincloth, therefore becoming one of the sexiest fetishistic icons a woman has ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
So,
God... No, I know all about your satanic apologism.
Wait, excuse me. What is a Satanist, and why do you think I'm one?
Oh, no, I didn't say you're a Satanist.
Oh, my satanic apologies?
Yeah.
Is that my next album?
Yeah, no, listen, we've all been molested by life, and we're deranged. And that becomes comfortable to us.
I'm very comfortable with you. Till
Lydia.
I wanna do very naughty things with you to other people.
All right.
That is a satanic chuckle.
How many times do you think you were supposed to die and you dodged it?
Oh, uncountable.
Or how many times did you come very close to dying?
And how many times did you inspire that to be brought upon yourself in a suicide by others?
First thing first.
Yes.
Yeah, what happens is
you
get, maybe you accrue a death wish after being blacklisted. You see, so apparently there is some sort of blacklisting going on, but...
Isn't there always been?
Who makes a blacklist?
The government.
All right.
It really does. It's the fucking government, I swear to God.
Which government? The secret shadow government or the real government? There's no real government.
So trillionaires.
Of which I wish you were one, then I'd really sexually extort you.
Who are some of the trillionaires?
Well, the Rothschilds, of course.
Okay. All right, so
It goes back to them.
That's the top family. You have $1 trillion. You are well versed in the occult. Ostensibly, Satan appears in a tuxedo to play fucking casino games.
Am I
I'm not
wearing
even
the wrong
joking about
costume?
this.
First of all, am I wearing the wrong gear? Should I appear in a tuxedo at a gambling casino? No, I don't, because when I go to a casino, I always pickpocket. Go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway,
One of my
James
secret
Bond.
arts.
James Bond. That's just from $1 trillion. James Bond is just a prostitute working for a trillionaire. That's all.
See, I mean,
That's
I
enough.
think I need to up my game.
And by the way, instead of theorizing on this, Lydia,
Yes,
I
sir. Nando.
found out the truth, and I have friends
So
and
you
contacts
found
in the
out
fucking community.
First of all,
so-
you found out the truth. The truth.
Are we talking
Right.
about the blacklist?
You're talking about the blacklist. Yeah.
Yes, I verified that with 2 different contacts.
You're on the black. Is there like a?
My uncle was in the Green Berets, and he put a voodoo doll in my crib.
I wish it would have been one I made. Then you
why
would
did
have
he
been
do
blessed for
that?
life.
Why'd your uncle do that to you?
Because he hates the living fuck out of my dad.
So he's going to curse the child of the dad.
We're
of
talking
his
about
brother he
some. We're
hates.
talking about like some Hungarian Jewish Orthodox. It was like they were Orthodox. Just really heavy shit. These
Hateful.
Orthodox Jews.
Hateful.
Oh,
Hateful.
like chalky. It's like if you could reduce hate down to a chalk.
Yes, I
know?
understand. Because nobody
So
likes chalk.
are you literally cursed as a result?
Apparently, but there's more to it than that. You know, we choose these things, and the harder things are. You've been through a lot. That's because you were through a lot in another life. You're ready for more
And
responsibility.
actually, that's something I want
Right.
to touch on with
Good.
you, because my theory, and you can illustrate something other if you know more. I always think other lives, past lives. It's just some of us have access to the computer code that other people cannot decode, which is our bloodline, which is our DNA, which has the secrets to all of history, which our blood has passed through. They're coming to get me now. There's the helicopters.
I told you, man.
Nandor's nervous.
It's all about me, man. The ceiling fan's a helicopter, man. It's a DMT flashback, dude.
I think this back-to-back with Mark McLeod would be a beautiful thing. I mean, that's the way I view the knowledge of past histories that some of us can decode. And the reason why most people can't is
Yeah.
it would drive them insane. So us already being insane, it kind of drives us normal.
You could do some fucking yoga that'll cleave your aura, and you'll.
Well, I've had,
nuts.
Kundalini awakening is real.
satanic? Dave Budden said yoga's satanic.
Dave Budden is satanic.
You know, I don't know, Tim, but I hope so. I really hope so, man.
Nandor, for your information,
What?
I'm extremely flexible.
Whoa. What did Joan Collins put behind her ears to get the new role?
The legs?
Yeah.
Wow, I guess that one right off the bat. Back to reality. Is there such a thing, Nandor?
I heard it.
Yeah.
Is that-
What is reality?
That's
That's
fucking hard to
ridiculous
define.
question.
Yeah.
That's ambitious. let's be
Do you-
ambitious.
I think, Nandor, there are some of us that actually exist within a reality outside of most people's comprehension. So we give them little bits and chunks and tastes.
Right.
And most of it goes completely over their head. And I think that is the definition of really who you are. Something that flies over most people's reality, the comprehension. It's too terrifying.
That's charitable,
And I think
Lydia.
that's a
Thank you for saying
compliment,
so.
and I'm not trying to suck your
no.
psyche.
I was actually kind of hoping you guys would put me down and call me a dirtbag.
Hey, there's
and
still
we could
time,
flip
honey.
the script on this.
Still time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like Nandor Nevai is a piece of shit.
Sometimes you are.
Ex-convict, you
By
know,
the way.
like something like
Hey,
that.
nothing wrong
not
with
like he's done
ex-convicts.
this, he's done that.
Excuse me, you
he
know
does
what?
your laundry.
The only thing I would insult you for is if you're not a future convict. You'll always be a convict.
Oh! I am never going back. I promise you that.
Hey,
right, so
crime
you're not-
pays, but not enough.
You're on a blacklist.
Mm.
You've almost died a bunch of times. I guess you're saying that's connected
In
with
my
the blacklist.
time of dying.
Probably that's more my fault because after like 20 years of like some German woman asks you for help and you take her to the hospital and then like she's like, here, take this wheelchair and put it in your truck, and then you do, and then suddenly you get arrested for stealing a wheelchair. Things like
ridiculous.
that. You marry a woman and the woman's like, I don't have money for change for the subway. You're like, okay, just slip through the turnstile with me. There's a cop right there. You let the woman go. You go to jail.
But I mean,
they're building a
Nandor,
criminal
these
fucking
are,
record. You
these
understand?
are all really dumb crimes. These are not crimes. These are incidents that you've been caught doing that should be legal anyway.
No, honey. These are setups.
Yes.
Okay, because
Well, who
people
set
are
you up to go
confidential fucking informants. You understand me?
What? So your wife was a confidential informant who
No.
convinced you to go through the turnstile.
No, just another. Oof. You know,
When you think of it,
I usually just tell everything and see if I can edit things a little bit. See, the shit I'm covering in my books, thanks for asking. The guy in Taiwan calls them digibooks. Basically, it's just a 4 CD compact disc set and a hardcover book. But it's
are you
not
going to
some
be
odd
reading
size.
the book aloud?
I hope you will, babe.
For a reasonable price, I could do that.
Whoa.
She's got the connections for book on
Put it
tape.
this way. Would you not like my mouth wrapped around your product?
Wow. How do you respond
Phyllis
to that?
dildo,
How do you-
ladies and gentlemen.
Now, is that a setup right there? Or-
You just turned my scrotum into 2 raisins in the sun.
Yeah, but how big did your dick get? We can work on that later. Don't worry about it, baby.
By the way, since we want to talk about that,
Your dick?
it's definitely shrinking. Okay, so what they said about like when you get older, yeah, not if you don't get
So
any.
now it's
Because I
only-
haven't been able to back into a good piece of ass and like fucking like I don't know. I don't
But
remember
I know-
I don't know what it smells like.
But
Okay,
I know historically you've been
What?
well hung in the.
Nandor, I'm
true.
sure if you smelt my ass, you'd get an
seen your
immediate
movies.
hard-on. And honey,
Now we're
that's
getting
only
somewhere.
that's only an invitation to the blues, as Tom Waits once said.
I guess that's why
All right.
call it the
guys, that's definitely getting
They've
edited
only
out.
had one drink and they're already
Definitely getting edited out.
stoned.
So you're an incel, is basically what you're telling us.
involuntary celibate.
You know, I actually.
here's the thing. When you get to fuck supermodels and shit, you just the rest is not going to do much.
And why
you know
should
what
you
I'm saying?
settle for less?
Correct.
You know what? I was celibate for 3.5 years. No biggie. And some wine.
This is the Lydian Spin featuring
Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl. Special guest today,
And Weasel Walters here.
Nandor
Nevai.
Nevai. And Weasel Walter.
I first met Nandor in 1993, and I think how
Walter?
it happened was very auspicious. I went to his loft on the south side of Chicago, where he was.
Why was he in Chicago?
He's
Well,
lived in many cities.
he was.
Avoiding the law.
I believe he went to RISD, and then he was in Chicago working with a bunch of itinerant filmmakers down on the south side of Chicago. I think
I thought I saw the Lutenbacher show first.
maybe the first time I really met you was we went to the loft on the south side, and you said, "Hey man, you want to see something cool?" I was like, "Sure." So you took me into your loft room, and you kind of had like a bookshelf, and you kind of went and scanned the bookshelf, and you found this magazine, and you took it out, and you looked through this magazine, and then you said, "What do you think about this?" And it was basically a picture, a porn magazine of a guy who was stuffing his own balls into his asshole.
And that was not Ron Afey.
And I said, "That's pretty cool." And then we were sort of like fast friends from then on.
you've tried it.
I'd rather have your balls in your asshole than your dick in my. No, I didn't say that.
Well,
I'm just,
needless to say,
shy
Chicago
then.
at that point was pretty thriving scene because it was very cheap to live and there was a lot of access. So everyone was sort of cross-pollinating. He was working on film stuff at the time, but he
Well, what
also
kind of
had
film
quite a
stuff?
hankering
But
for
wait,
music.
What kind of film stuff?
Like
Hardcore porno?
regrettable, unsightly. Oh, I wish. Unsightly, like cyber videos. You can wear a 3D helmet. You can
Why were
go
you
into-
doing that?
Because when you graduate college, Lydia, you're
I wouldn't know. I
you're
dropped
less
out.
mature than when you're in high school. When you're in
Okay.
high school, you know you suck. When you graduate college, you think you're cool,
Okay.
and you don't even know how to eat pussy.
There's Big Mama Lunch's School for Eating Pussy on the menu. by the
Well,
way.
needless to say, Nandor already had his vision was very on its path already.
Altered.
And he was working with music and words and video and all kinds of shit. I mean, basically, it was the sort of the naive roots of what you basically exploded into a lifestyle.
Nando, who are some of the writers or philosophers that most impacted you or set you on your own path?
I like Aeschylus or Aeschylus,
Okay.
Prometheus Unbound. I like Manuel de Landa, who wrote Warfare in the Age of. Oh fuck, I forgot.
We'll investigate. Don't worry. Keep going.
De Landa is an associate.
do you
Is an
think that-
associate of Coleman too. He
Did
was.
writing inspire you more than music?
Oh, Oh, that's a strange question. So what happens is I'm a filmmaker, and all the rest of it comes out of that. Basically, I was like, I'm not going to use someone else's soundtrack. An auteur probably shouldn't even hire someone to do the score.
How would you describe your music?
Most of it's pretty bad.
Thank you for admitting that. So, but it didn't stop you from doing it.
It tends to favor the extremes, the mind control of mass-produced culture, Clockwork Orange, punk rock, heavy metal. It's all different forms of Satanism that have been filtered down to demoralize the populace.
I can't stand any of those forms of music. Thank you for telling me exactly why.
You were an avid death metal fan in the 90s.
Right, and what it's doing, it's radicalizing us, making us extreme, and you don't want to be extreme. Evil is on the far right and the far left. Good is in the middle, and I know good is not really in fashion right now, but once you've had a real taste of evil,
I'm going to rephrase what you said. Not when you've had a taste of evil, when you've had a real taste of real evil.
Yes.
And there is a difference. There's just assholism. There's frat boy stupidity. There's a culture of the monotony of
most people can only
megalomania.
do evil, but they can't be evil. Someone who can be evil's at another level.
Would that be you and me? Or not? Is that why we're so good now?
I don't think Nandor is inherently evil.
No, we can do evil. We can't be evil. You can only do
I'm
it.
the nicest
you can
woman
only
you've ever
do
met.
evil, but you usually don't choose to. However, there are intelligences.
Nandor, why do I choose not to? I'm going to tell you why. It's too fucking easy.
Cool. Then from the rest of the interview, every question you ask, you can answer.
Fine, that would be great. We've had enough of you then. No, because I want to know your truths.
Name the top 3 evil people living on Earth right now.
I like Kofor Black. He's up there. Oh my God. John Brennan under Obama converted to Wahhabism, which is like cut your head off if you're not, like the most extreme form of Saudi Arabia.
As I like to say, as Durga said, if you want to go on a suicide mission, go on a suicide mission. One man, one bomb. Cut your own fucking head off.
Exactly. Also, the King and Queen of England were indicted in a Canadian court for murdering about 13 or 14 native children.
When is this?
And this is in the 80s. This is a fucking fact.
Yes,
it's on record. Okay.
What was their motivation?
Fun.
Bingo. You steal the life force.
This is why, to me, a lot goes back to Desaad for this reason.
Yes.
What Desaad proved in his writings, no matter how overblown they were, is that the bourgeoisie, the moneyed, can get away with fucking and killing anything they want. Call it what you
I think
will.
the bourgeoisie aren't they like the middle class?
Well, look, okay, we'll say above
mean the aristocracy?
Yes,
Okay,
aristocracy.
okay.
They can get away with fucking and killing anything they want, which is still proven to this very fucking day.
Right.
And Desaad was merely illustrating this fact, no matter what his own personal crimes were, or the exaggeration of his writing.
Right.
If you reduce him to his philosophy, which is basically nature versus nurture versus God, or the philosophy of the evil inherent, and that actually nature demands certain things because by our very nature, some are evil, some are twisted. Can we discount them just because they're not to the norms of the rest of society?
You can't discount anything.
Exactly.
We're maximalists. We negate nothing. What's crazy is there's almost nothing that isn't true. Things are true in a degree. It's a gradient. It's not. If I think of floating pink elephants, you can't say that's not real. You can say it's not physical. It doesn't exist in an XYZ axis. It's not a tangible thing. However, anything that's been thought is real. And then you have the Akashic records where we share memory banks. Weasel says shit that I'm thinking.
So let's go back to this blacklist. And you were almost killed or almost died many times.
Well, yeah, you get depressed and you think you're unlucky. And then you start to fuck up on your own. It's a good system. It works. You understand? When I got in trouble and stuff, of course, it was like I was ignoring precautions. Like, don't do speed 2 weeks in a row. Just do it 1 week and stay up for 1 week.
I've literally seen you walk into chaos that was so like, oh no, this is not happening, and then sort of walk out of it.
I can do that because I don't care anymore. But now I do. Again, I care again. But I was just willing to die, I was willing to die.
Wait, but why? were you willing to die? Because this life was not enough because you had
Well,
had enough.
I said
because
he's
you were
hard to
full
die,
enough?
but you're hard to kill, turns out.
Yeah, we can frame it that way, and we can blow sunshine up my ass all day, and I'll probably ask you for more, like Simon Le Bon in the Hungry Like the Wolf video. But the thing is, what's the question?
Look, Nandor, let me tell you this. There are some of us, and these are the true, and I hate to use the word artist, these are the true immaculates that are too stubborn to fucking die. That have, for some reason,
We were getting
stubbornness.
close. We were getting close to something that was important. You and I were touching on something. You asked me who the most evil people were.
Fun was a motivation.
Oh yeah,
For murder.
Yeah. Tony Blair is a male prostitute.
I wouldn't pay for that dick.
That's. Okay.
I know what you mean.
So Bob Ross, the painter. Bob Ross, the painter with the fucking afro.
Oh, we know
here's,
him.
Here's some happy clouds. Okay. So when I tell people who's in the CIA, people laugh at me. Oh, you stupid. That's in the CIA?
Yeah, but you
And I'm
accused
looking
me
at them and I'm like,
you accused me
I-
of being in the CIA before.
Oh my God, are you
That was
crazy?
ridiculous.
I never accused you of
Yes,
being
you,
this.
excuse me, I'm not the only
I
one
asked
who heard
you.
it.
I might have asked you.
So what about Bob Ross?
He was on the Lolita Express and he went to
Rape
With that
Island.
afro.
Rape Island.
Rape-
Correct. And now we start to see a pattern, you know?
Do
And
describe.
Is Epstein still alive?
No.
Epstein is in Spain. And he's alive. And by the way, that was Bourdain, that the Daily fucking Post or whatever it's called in New York, piece
Daily
of
Mail.
shit toilet
Okay,
paper.
go ahead, go
They showed after they killed Bourdain, but Bourdain's been to killing sport events. You understand? They hunt humans and shit. You know, people
For food?
No, for fun, for boners.
It's for fun.
We'll talk about that later because I got my own
So you're
theories
saying
about
that
that. I
the
don't wanna
corpse they
discuss it here.
showed as Epstein
It was literally
actually
Bourdain.
Anthony
That was a picture of Bourdain
Okay,
dead.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
A guy came in. A guy in military dress came in an army van, and they always do it on medical leave. It's just like in an action movie when the girl, when the hostage is like, "I have to pee," and then she's like, "I run." Same thing.
I think it's time for me to read a little passage from your book.
Oh,
Can
I'd
you
love that.
please
Okay,
pull
yes,
that up?
I will. Thanks. I'd be happy to pull it up.
Nandor is one of the most naturally and supernaturally or unnaturally psychedelic people I've ever met.
Thanks, Lydia.
And I say that with high compliment because I feel both of us somehow not only go over most
We're
people's
sexual
heads-
criminals.
Thank you very much.
That's what you reminded me of what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
People aren't equal.
That was a
We don't. No one wants equality, and that's why Democrats.
I don't believe in it.
Okay. Now I'm going to ruin everything, and I'm going to like lose my 70% of my whatever market share I had. Okay.
By the way,
Okay.
before you lose
Democrats,
that market share,
think
send it
about
over.
what you're saying. Do you want everyone to be equal? No, you don't. Babies are in diapers. Parents put the diapers on the babies. I can spell it out for you.
Nandor.
Now, what the Democrats are saying is, they're going, "Hey, babies, you don't have to change your diaper. Those bad parents are going to take your diaper off. They're bad. You can squish around in that all day and you'd be really good."
Nandor, one question.
What?
I'm thinking of rewriting the Democratic speeches for what they should be saying, not what they are saying. Anyway, it's a little
Actually,
bit-
I think you're kind of right wing in the right way. People don't understand
I
right
am
wing
more-
has been demonized because that's what you want. What you want is to accrue. You want to self-benefit. You want to make some money. You want to get rich.
you want to have your
right,
own artillery.
right, and you know more than some people.
Yes, we do.
And here's what we want. We don't want equality. We want fairness. Things
Thank
should be
you.
fair for fucking people. And if you don't have this or that, you should be fair. You need some health care.
Well, and
Get
this
some fucking
country
health
is
care.
not fair. Exactly. There is no fairness,
Right,
equality,
but we
or
don't
justice
want
here.
equality.
It will
because
never
we-
exist.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
a
Some
false
people should be
concept.
in charge who know. No,
I don't run for office, I run from it. Now, I'd like to read from Nandor's book. Surprising murderers is not easy. I would do it again. One day, somewhere in the fried perma-blur in the Flemish master's headquarters, a knock at the Awake for 4 Days door, once opened, revealed my DD, sweating uncharacteristically and blanched, the opposite of a blush. I was arrested by the poignancy. "Can I come in?" my DD gasped, impatient for the invitation. Wordlessly, I stood out of his way and moved the door inward for his entrance. I just shot someone, he confided. Then I knew we were friends. Just because you go to breakfast with a murderer doesn't mean you're friends, but this did. Cool, I said sincerely. Pause of electric silence, my DD cooling but adrenalized, stirs in the harboring space. Where? I asked. Where what? My DD insists, needing specifics. Where you shoot him, I said slowly to slow down the pulse. My DD exhales. In the leg, he answers. My DD is telling the truth. He's gonna need the hospital? I asked, stimulated by the reality. Oh, he ain't going to the hospital, my DD assures me. If you want to be a player, you gotta deal with gunshot wounds on your own. Hope the bullet goes through, or gotta dig it out. This author can deliver gunshot wounds, ain't dumb enough to walk into a bullet-receiving situation deliberately anymore. Nandor, yes. Thank you for allowing me to read that passage. I can't wait to read more, aloud or in private. Can you please tell me the title of this soon-to-be masterpiece?
Thanks. It's called The Price of Frontier. It's a series of what they call digibooks, which means... So it's going to be a hardcover book with 44 pages. It's got dirty pictures. Here, let me show you some dirty pictures.
Well, not now. We don't have time. We can't describe them.
No, I want
anyway,
you to look at it.
I must respect...
Weasel Walter's going to have to sell this shit. See, I can't sell it. That's like a guy with like a raincoat and wearing nothing under his raincoat.
Wait, let me ask you a question.
You want to see something?
Nandor, you've actually released quite a bit of music publicly in a retail form, but often you withdraw your music.
Yeah, that's always a curious thing.
Because you don't like it anymore, or what?
Because the level of excellence
that you've yet to achieve
has to be ballet fucking level, okay, Stravinsky level shit, where you have to quantumly edit the work. And I try to do albums in a ratio of 6-to-1. So if I want a 30-minute album, I have 3 hours of material. You see? I do that out of respect.
For who?
The audience.
You have an audience musically?
Oh my God, no. There's like 5 people in fucking Czechoslovakia.
So if you wanted to respect me respecting your music, it might be another silent opera.
Well, you do have adherents, but they are a minority that can decode or begin to decode.
So Lydia, what I see...
I run into them. All
Where
over the world,
I see...
But I don't... See, the thing is, I don't know who they are. And then it's like...
Well, it's a Danish metalhead, for instance.
Nandor.
No, they don't pay.
Nandor, excuse me. Music is irrelevant when you write like this. You know what? You could make.
Hey, you want to see some dirty pictures?
Maybe later, honey. I'm going to finish with this for a minute. Look, I am very elitist about writing.
That. You should be.
Of course, because I'm one of the best fucking writers on the planet and spoken word
Everyone
artist.
should be elitism, and that is why...
Look, I am a crowd of one. When I respect your writing, and I have, in spite of some other insanity, I respect your insanity, which is why I love you. Your genius is in your writing. The music is a fucking teenage addiction hobby. Stop it. You don't need to do it. If you want to... No, it's not necessary, because you know why? People need to read what you write, and they will. And you know what? People don't like your music. I'm a little different than you. They might not like it, and they might not know what I do, but I'm stubborn enough to force it down their fucking throats. You know what? You need to sleaze in with that writing and prove to me that not only can you play the stock market, but you can play the reader's eyes.
Hey, can I have Nandor describe a few moments? And if you don't like these, we can always take them out. But the first thing I think of is that you went to an award show in a tuxedo once.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about it?
I was nominated at the Annie Awards, ANNIE.
I'm going to nominate you for the anti-awards like Antichrist. Go ahead.
Thank you. That'd be cooler. The Annie Awards are like... I'm a dickless retard who's working in the film industry, and I'm in animation. Me and my cousin from Iowa went, and he's
But wait, what were you nominated for, though?
voiceover in an animated thing.
Unbelievable.
So I shouldn't complain about being blacklisted, because I've gotten like a couple of punches that were like... But the thing is, I just throw that shit away. I deserve nothing. So I went there,
but you have so much.
I was nodding, and I had Chinese white heroin.
Wait, what?
Chinese white heroin.
Say it again.
Chinese white heroin?
How did you feel on that?
Well, listen.
That shit, I made a woman come eating her vagina in like 60 seconds. That's how fucking good I felt.
I'd like you to prove that later on.
I've
Sorry.
never made a woman come with my fucking face in 60 seconds. Except for then. And I was like,
Nandor,
because I was focused.
You know what I say? You got more hair on your puss than I got on my bush. You ain't going there, baby.
So you're at the
Continue with
Annie Awards. You're in a
Yeah.
you're in a
I'm on
tuxedo.
the nod. It was so hilarious.
In a
I was on the
tuxedo.
nod. Oh, you guys, I'm so glad that I did my like Hitlerian drug binge in the aughts. You guys, if it was now, forget about it. Hamburger. It would be like mass grave.
Like
it would just
Neil
like it wouldn't
hamburger?
happen. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's already over. There was a window. You guys, they used to let tweakers without pants would be running up and down Venice and shit. There'd be like a guy in like a spandex suit with a propeller on his back in like Santa Monica Beach. You know what I'm saying? They cleaned it up, if you know what I
Nandor,
mean.
that brings me to my next question. You have done an inhuman amount of drinking and drugs.
Yeah.
In your pursuit earlier on in trying to find death to solve your living problems.
Yeah.
When did you start? Give me a little history of your drug abuse.
Oh, that's a good question.
Like 12,
No,
13?
not at all. It's
it's later.
quite the opposite. So, Lydia, this
here's
is
where we
this is
differ.
interesting. So, in 1978, I moved to New York City. That's why I have
How did we miss each other?
because I was 8. So,
Just your,
Hey,
just
no
your type.
Nandor,
Exactly.
I'm so sorry. We
but it's
didn't
still
meet.
in there, Lydia. I literally because my dad. Was
I love the
is a
8-year-old
weird-
in you.
Thanks, honey.
Nobody else did. I do.
I love the 8-year-old in you.
How about the 6-year-old? She needs.
Do you remember when there was just like loft parties on 8th Street, or there would be a party and you could walk into a brownstone. There was a party. You might literally just walk into some party. People knew you were a walk-in. It was okay.
Yes.
it was.
Well, I always
and I'm not
questioned
trying
how
to be
anybody got into
nostalgic,
any
but
of
there
those
was a
clubs. Yes.
thing,
Yes.
and like I have this no wave the thing, and I'm not trying to be no wave, but it's just in there. In fact, I don't want to be no wave. I want to leave it to the experts over here on the right. So, but
That'd be Weasel Walter.
Hi.
but long story short, to answer your question, if
Yes,
I can, let's see if we
please.
can answer one fucking question in a linear
You've
way.
done great.
I blame Slater over here.
Sergeant Slaughter, the producer.
So, but
He hasn't said a fucking word.
so I was a teetotaler.
Nope.
Yeah. I was really against. I don't,
Like you don't want
I
to
don't-
Straight edge.
dulling your
these-
senses.
no, I was like these stoners. They have long hair. I'm into test department. I want to look like a fucking Nazi mortician. I want to have like
God
epaulets,
damn, I want you to
black-
look like that too.
Yeah, oh, I do.
Yeah,
I
you
am
know what?
hardcore
no, actually,
industrial.
you know what you look like now? Fucking Silent Hell's Angels who's smarter than the whole fucking crew. That's how you acted last night. Now carry on.
Yeah,
son.
the HA know who I am.
Yeah, they know me too, honey. Go ahead.
Yeah. I
Carry
partied
on.
with the HA.
Yeah.
The guy, my bud on the fucking beach, he's like, I've been clean 7 years. I just did bong hits of crack and I almost puked. And by the way, this is 9 a.m. on the fucking beach.
I'm still in love
So
with the
cool.
one I didn't fuck
The
when I was
coolest people.
13. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you were a teetotaler, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. And me and Toby Frere Jones. So I went to fucking St. Anne's, which is apparently
Yes,
has some
the
kind of
ch- the church-
faggot pedigree now.
The church that
apparently.
has many abstract performances.
Yeah.
In
And-
Brooklyn.
And there was Jennifer Connelly. I asked her on a date.
Oh, unibrow.
But
she
you do.
said that she
Did you want to
she
do
said
ass
she
to
was
mouth
going-
with her? I'll say that again. Did you ask her if she
I'll
wanted to
do
do ass to mouth? Because
anything she
that was her
wants.
best
I don't
scene in
give a-
Requiem for a
I'll-
Dream. Requiem for a Dream, ass to mouth. Go ahead, carry on.
That was ass to ass, actually.
That was the
Well,
worst
I'm
piece of shit.
updating it. Carry on. So
really sick of
Jennifer
this.
Connelly,
I was
why?
in love with her. Nice one.
So you're in love with women that will never look at you twice.
I'm hotter than her. Are you nuts?
Honey, I would fuck you and I would not fuck a unibrow, even though you have a beard.
Nice.
we're getting off topic.
No, we're not. I think we're right on it. Now go ahead.
No,
carry on.
yeah. So
St.
long
Anne's.
story. In senior year of high school,
Which was what year?
I had 1988 when anal
youngster.
cunt began one of the most important bands in modern history and modern grindcore,
Second
modern
I
noisecore.
really barf to differ, but carry on.
Anal cunt
Yeah.
age as well.
No, you know what? I don't want you to fucking agree. I don't like it. I don't like it when people agree with me on anal cunt. You know what I mean? So they think that they're not there. I smoked crack with fucking Seth Putnam until like 9 a.m. Like he
You know,
would fall
crack
asleep
worked
on the
on you,
phone.
Nandor?
Yeah, believe it or not. So, but,
I wish. Carry on.
Yeah.
I wish it worked on me. Carry on.
oh my god,
That's wicked sick.
If you want to sexually molest me, just give me crack. It'll
You know
work.
what? I might just do that later on. Thank you very much. I'm
It's
glad you
super
invited
easy.
me
It's
into
like
your
so easy. It's like
secret
bing,
world.
press. It's like a key. It's
So
just
wait,
on-
so we'll talk about that later. I want to talk about it later.
So then I had a girlfriend who like listened to only classic rock and REM, and she wore Guatemalan wristbands. But then she made me smoke some pot, and it turned out...
But you were already a teenager.
I didn't lose my virginity until I was like almost 18.
No wonder you're catching up for lost time, but not now, of course, as the...
You have to understand I was malformed.
Wait.
I was malformed. I was like complete... I didn't even
Too
look.
big for your age?
I didn't even mature until I was like almost 18. my younger brother was taller than me.
What's the most profound drug experience you ever had?
He's had a few psychedelics, I would imagine.
I couldn't name one, Weasel, but you know what? I probably could name
DMT.
one. The DMT destroyed
barriers.
Basically, so like the Army Chemical Weapons Division, based out of near Elizabethtown, Indiana, they kind of like synthesized Christ. Okay.
And you smoked Christ.
Wait, they synthesized Christ.
Theoretically,
so where did this?
That's when you started believing in God.
Synthetic Christ.
They sourced it from a.
He smoked Christ and began believing in God.
Yeah, right. I've been believing. So what happens is called. Here's the thing. It's called a telepathine. Okay. When I heard that there was a drug called telepathine, ding! I'm like telepathine.
Do describe.
Give me some.
What happened to you then?
So Lydia, it's a
Yes, sir.
They're simulating bufotenine, the Bufo alvarius Sonoran desert toad produces this.
The one you're supposed to lick.
Correct. Same
I'll lick
fucking
your
thing.
toad.
You sound like
She digresses.
she keeps bringing it down. We raise it up. She's like knocks it down.
Then
It's
there's
like this
Maud.
scaffolding. She's like scaffolding buster.
You
You're like
bring your-
you've got a baseball bat on the scaffolding of intelligence.
Thank
Not
you.
intelligence.
Nice. So
You know what I mean.
You mean virtual intelligence.
I meant of convert.
I know what you mean. Go ahead. I'll knock your
Back
toad.
to the drugs.
yeah.
Come on.
So- Lick your toad. Carry on.
So the
Come on, Shecky.
so the intelligence services were started by the. Here's the thing. This is proto drugs. The intelligence services. Okay, you have the Jesuits. Okay, and you have what they did was they sent out missionaries to find out about mysticism and create a categories of what was true. Okay, what is true? So this guy
According
can
to who?
float. The people can. No, not according to shit.
The
That's
truth.
that. What intelligence is? Bullshit walks. We want fucking facts. These people can levitate. Is it true? They can do magic. What magic can they do? So that we corroborate this, and what it leads to is by the 30s and 40s, they're looking into drugs where you can, and all the Freemasons. I don't know about Kubrick, but the OTO or microdosing on LSD. It does lead to a cumulative intelligence boost. I myself have increased my IQ by at least 15 fucking points. Since 2009, when I came back to New York, I looked like a piece of chewed fucking hamburger that some tweaker spat out on the fucking street.
Was that when we first met?
No, it was after
We met
that.
later
I
than
think
that.
like a year after that point.
So,
Carry on about the intelligence quotient.
I began
Seriously.
I began researching and bioassaying psychism. Psychism is everybody is psychic. Everybody knows this. Everybody's psychic. The point of psychism is just try and do it. Do it on purpose. Work on it. Think about it. When you're in your bed looking at the ceiling, you close your eyes. Remember you told me last night you closed your eyes and you saw
Yes,
the
I
shit?
did. And you know what?
That's pure psychism.
Of course. And you know what? People have the ability, but they're too frightened or they're too uptight to actually execute it. It's the same as what I was saying about DNA, which is the computer, which most people cannot decode because they'd be
Right.
fucking terrified.
And it is a computer.
And it is
It's a
and we are
biocomputer.
it's a biocomputer. Here's where we thoroughly agree.
This is not poetry.
This
It's
is
not a
not
metaphor.
drug
This
talk.
is science. It's a biocomputer.
Back to telepathine.
Okay, so telepathine. Okay, so this company called JLF Poisonous Non-Consumables.
Can you say that one more time? I think you're getting me hard.
Okay.
.com.
Right. I was in San Diego driving around with this. There was a mafia hitman who kills people, and his son was a heroin addict who was a Hare Krishna. And I was driving around with him, and he was a friend of Harmony Korine. Anyway, I dropped some acid,
Warner
and I
Gazooka
forgot about the fact that I dropped acid, and I head back up on the I-5 North, and I'm seeing Sylphs Sylphs are elemental beings that exist in cloud forms. Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Okay.
Carry
This
on.
is all
Yes.
fact.
No one, not many
Okay,
people have seen these.
They're life forms. There's water elementals called undines, and there's
And this is exactly what I want to
gnomes.
get to with you, Nandor.
I have
Carry on.
pictures of gnomes. I have pictures of
Yeah, we're not
photographs
talking garden
of
gnomes.
I have fucking photographs of 2-foot-high humanoid gnomes from Namibia. Okay, I have photographs of mermaid skeletons that are real.
All right, Nandor.
Okay.
Nandor, back
Yes.
to you personally.
Oh.
What is the most bizarre, paranormal, not on acid or on acid, a thing you've ever seen or experienced fully? I would really like
Now
to
we're
know
getting
this.
somewhere.
Clairvoyance.
I
Okay,
really would
we're
like to
going to
know
work
this.
on this, guys.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about the occult. People who dabble in
You
the
have your
occult,
encyclopedia.
you have two fucking ways you can go. You can go to the right. Right is right, by the way. Things that are right. That's why they're called right. Things that are called left are called sinister. Sinister means to the left. Dextro means to the right.
Dexter means them killing.
Sinistro means to the left.
Yes.
If you want to go to the left, go to the left. Okay?
Left-hand path.
Here's the thing, you don't. Eventually you're going to want to go back to the right. Long story short, what the fuck were we just... Oh my
I asked you what is the most bizarre paranormal experience
Okay,
that you've
once
had.
you start... Thank you, I'm sorry. It's just there's so many threads.
Not a problem.
Once you start working on the occult, here's the thing. It's not just stuff that you wish you didn't know. You wish that was it. There's more. You wish it was only stuff I didn't want to know. No. The occult responds to you. Now your life's not the same.
like
Now that
quantum.
the occult is winking out at you and you're walking out and it's like, hi, I'm an owl in the sky. And you're like, I want to tell someone about that.
Can you tell
and you
me
know you don't tell anyone,
exactly?
and then like 2 weeks later you tell someone, and they look at like you're like a fucking schizophrenic, and then you're like, okay, I'm not doing that again.
Nandor. And
I
only,
hate when that happens.
And only you might be able to appreciate and understand when I say, I have been in a room
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
cloud formation
Yeah.
fully covering the middle of the entire fucking room. That's one of the things.
Wow.
You can understand when I say, I was walking
That's
down
like a
hall-
sylph. Oh yeah,
So-
we covered some major occult information yesterday.
You can
I
understand
feel
when
bad
I-
for you because you're like trying to tell people this shit, and they're like, "Yeah, that's what you thought." It's
No,
like
that's poetry.
dumb fuck.
No, no.
I'm telling you.
They think it's poetry.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I have been literally
You're
tossed
right. no, I know.
by
you're-
things
Oh,
that
oh.
don't exist. I mean, from one wall to the other. That's just, I have seen,
Yeah, but here's the thing: spirits, geists, they have weight and form. They can flip
And if
the
you don't-
page
yes.
of a book,
If
but
you
they
don't-
can't lift a book. When you go out of body, so people are like, how do you know that happened? I'm like, people from the CIA come to my fucking house. They don't have a body, and they come out of the thing. And it's not I didn't dream this. I'm like bored. They can come down. It's like there's like heat. Your soul is like an electrical envelope.
They're like avatars or something. Is everything the CIA?
No, that's another level. No. Literally every human being. Now I don't know about every animal. Some animals, like lower order of biology, do not have souls, and there's a limited number of souls. And a lot of humans are not fucking humans. They don't even have human souls. And there's humanoids
Empty vehicles.
with animal souls.
Nandor, you mentioned the word, and I want to go into this with you for a minute. I think that humanity at this point, besides all of the other diseases and problems we're suffering from with climate change and poison food and poison water, are suffering from electrical poisoning.
Right.
And it's something I experienced more than 20 years ago.
I'll bet
and
you
I
did.
finally found a doctor. I mean, when I was living in London,
What happened?
I would have to turn off every fucking electrical appliance because I felt I was just being like poisoned.
You didn't feel you felt
I
and
was.
knew. Yeah,
I
it was
knew.
totally
And
right.
the thing is, I found
That's
a
the
doc-
key thing here is that we establish that this is not. We're not speculating.
No, we're not
And what's
speculating.
irritating for people like me and Lydia is the people assume that we're speculating, and we're like, look, you don't have to buy it, but you can. It's
I know.
binary.
Well, and the thing is, now it's worse than ever because electrical
Oh, yeah.
poisoning is real. And that's why there's so much the uprising of cancer, insanity.
You have $1 trillion.
violence.
You know Satan. You control the intelligence services, but there's no conspiracy and there's nothing strange.
And beyond that,
that makes sense. You know, that really adds up.
And beyond that, Nandor, one thing. We understand the poisoning of electrical forces. We also understand that there are things that cannot be seen by the human eye, and there are more of them than things that we can see that are out there causing different kinds of disturbances that only some of us are sensitive to. And we don't want everybody to be sensitive to them. You know what? I would like to prevent people.
That's interesting. You don't want everyone to be sensitive. Well, maybe you're
No,
right.
I
That
mean,
would be chaos.
They would be horror. They would be terrified to death. We experience things that are on other levels of existence, which are not necessarily visual or even verbal or vocal, that are electrical, which means, I mean, face it, we're atomic.
The electrical thing is really important.
We're atomic
We have an
creatures.
electrical body.
Everything is
and when
electrical.
and there's two kinds of dreams.
People don't understand this when I talk about this. Like, everything is fucking electrical.
It's all electrical.
The entire universe is based
all
on
just-
electricity.
and magnetism.
And magnetism. This is the Lydian spin with one of the greatest philosophers of this or any century. Nobody knows it yet, but Nandor, thank you for being here, because you know what? Nandor, I will admit, I don't know that much about you, but what I don't know, put it this way, what I do know, I don't even have to know, because it's something on another level, like what we're talking about.
Yeah,
We've had some
quantum
friction in the
shit.
past, quantum shit.
Well, of course.
And friction, and I love that meeting we had one day.
challenge.
At what I called the birdhouse. What I love is that you are, like I, very transformative. We've been through things that other people should not. They don't have to experience. That's why we write about that. We are here to experience for them the things they should not.
Right.
Because they might crumble. And therefore, it is our duty to document, and henceforth, why it's important for you to write. Fuck the music. The writing is far more important.
That's great. Thanks for.
And trust me, I am a very. I mean,
Well,
reading
there's a
and
pretty good
writing-
chance that the worst thing I ever did might be better than the best thing you ever did, but we'll see what happens.
And I know you're
You
not
gotta
talk-
take
I know,
a life.
I know you're not talking to me when you say that. 'cause
No,
you
I'm
know
talking to you, but however, your writing might be
please.
better.
I just
Oh,
want
I'm not saying you're not a better
no,
artist.
back
Bro.
off a minute. Wait.
Oh, shit.
Nandor.
I want to make a plug.
No, wait, hang on. Nandor, say that again. Why is my writing better? I've read your
'Cause-
shit. I think it's pretty fucking amazing. Why is mine better to you? What impresses you with that?
I was
And
just
you
trying to
say
sleaze
the
my
word-
way out of
No,
that insult,
no,
I think.
and you say the word poet to me, and you're the only one who can say that to me. Because I don't respect that term. But when you say it,
That's what I like
do.
about you.
What?
What I like about you is
And no,
that
I'm just-
is
I'm not
that
going-
you want to bring the writing. Is you're an action writer. When you're a writer, first of all, they tend to be shut-ins. They don't want to interact. But you're
I'm the opposite.
Aren't you though? And like you
I
want
want
you
to
want to
shut
stand on
themselves
stage.
in away from me.
You're not even happy to read your shit. You want to yell at people and fight with people,
Hey,
and that's what I
excuse me,
like about
Nandor,
you.
one thing. Back up a minute, Bo. Back up a minute, Bo. That's not the only kind of spoken word I do.
Fair enough.
I've done all
Well,
kinds
you do
of.
read it. You read out loud.
Yes.
I've done all kinds of poetical interpretations of my work, and not all of it is a fucking harangue.
What's your longest book?
What does that matter? What's your shortest? Because you know what? 44 pages can
just-
condense everything.
No,
my cookbook.
no, that wasn't competitive. I'm just curious. What?
Oh, look. The thing is, you're choking on a ghost. What we share in common is this: we have to be concise in the writing. And
It would be an
even that
insult to our
small-
audience.
I don't
otherwise.
give a shit about
Do you
the
want to see my
audience.
face buried in some woman's crotch?
No. Take a break. Nobody wants to see that, especially if you're bearded.
Well, look, let me put something out there and see where this goes.
Weasel Walter,
But
please
yeah, I've
step
seen
up
shit
and
like that. But it's fine.
That is so ugly. I can't even.
It's a selfie.
One,
That's a selfie.
I'll never want to have
no,
sex again when I see that. That is
Are you wearing
anti-erotic.
a life jacket?
Let me-
got a lingus.
let me.
That is one of the most ridiculous things. Weasel, please
Oh
try
my
that.
God.
All right,
Weasel Walter.
I'm gonna just like put something
Quiet.
out here as
Go ahead,
grist
please.
for the mill. Nandor, one of your finest works, which you may or may not agree with, is a document of your subconscious.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Weasel's
I
talking.
just showed some dirty pictures, and
They
they,
were
stank.
boring.
Bad. Worse, they stank. Everyone
smell
hated
them.
them. So
I mean,
I knocked.
It's
yeah.
like your music. It stinks also. What you're writing is brilliant. Weasel, step in.
All right, I'm gonna redirect here. So I've followed your work. I've followed Nandor's work for a long time. He actually has a large body of work, but it's not readily available.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not for everybody either.
Well, it is very disparate because he works in a lot of different idioms, and it doesn't go through these fucking channels that everyone does where these ritualized things of, I did an album and a tour and all this
expel.
shit. Well, here's the thing. One of his most miraculous documents, which he may disagree with, but it's quite fun at parties, is a record he made in the late 90s called The Acapella Cantata by The Residents. And basically what it was was...
Residents.
What? The restaurants.
The restaurants.
Yeah, sorry. That was a Freudian slip.
No. That was like... I thought I said that when you did that. That was
The restaurants, yeah.
Basically, this album is what I call stream of unconsciousness, but he calls it Harry Karaoke. What he did was, as a challenge, because he wanted to trade a compact disc with me, he made the fastest thing he could possibly make to trade me for something.
Which was?
Well, basically, he gathered a bunch of random texts and audio. And
really bad raps I wrote when I was 9. I'd be stepping. You know what I mean? I'd be rapping.
He
like
basically
the worst
he
fucking poetry.
Freestyled. It takes longer to listen to than it did to record.
So bad, Lydia.
He basically
All right, you know what?
freestyled. Wait, listen, I'm getting to a point here.
I can't wait.
The thing is that
She's so bored her cunt is dropping dead.
Nandor's
Honey, that died a long time ago until I met you.
Nandor's body of work, or his corpus, operates on a bunch of different levels, and it goes from the subconscious to the completely overly
Ridiculous.
calculated, which is what I find interesting.
He's
is that
really the epitome of an idiot savant, because some of the shit he says is so ridiculous and others is so astute that you just have to, I just accept Nandor. I accept everything he says. I discard what I think is total bullshit. It doesn't matter, because whatever he's saying, there is a poetical importance to it. Even if it's so far-fetched that every conspiracy centers around his own scrotum, it's still with a poetic deliverance and a philosophical conviction, which is inherent in very few others.
Nandor, if someone wants to find out more about your work, where do they go?
To your desert hideaway.
I had a
They will be
website.
shot.
I had a website. And then
He did a big blonde puff right now. Sorry.
Take a breather, don't worry.
a powerful psychic named Don Bradley, who's one of my favorite people in the world.
Where does he live? In the desert?
He lives in Ojai. Don Bradley has a fucking 200 IQ, okay?
Nandor, what is your IQ? About 180?
My IQ is 170 right now.
What was the lowest IQ you ever
How
had?
do you know?
Because the CIA fucking told me.
All right.
Okay.
When they descended
what's
into
the
your
lowest
house on an
IQ?
invisible
At your
spider-web.
lowest IQ point, what would you guess
Good
that
one,
was?
my friend.
140 when he was
When
in
I was
school.
off speed, I was like $150, maybe $140, but it was like kind of scrapey. But
I think that's what I was at in like the 8th grade, like 150. And the CIA didn't test me.
no, evil makes you intelligent.
As you said, I am not evil, but I can do
No, you know evil. I don't think you're evil.
I'm not evil.
Any plugs you want to make?
Yes, I just want to change my voice. I'm doing some Kegel exercises. I want us to focus on a rainbow.
What are you talking about?
Oh, this is going to be cut out and you know it, so stop wasting my time now. Back to reality.
Okay, so if you're into very hardcore psychedelia, which doesn't mean bowl haircutted people from Frisco with a fucking wah-wah pedal. What hardcore
you're into
psychedelia means
criminal
is
reality-
I am damaged from drugs. I'm tripping. You don't know what's the matter with me. They might arrest me. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Nandor, you have been elevated by your psychedelic experiences
So,
to another level that
thanks.
most people cannot comprehend. Just
Yes.
call it what it is. Do not denote yourself.
Fair enough.
Elevate yourself to the position you should occupy.
Thanks,
Queen
hon.
of the universe.
Oh, Queenie. So
I'm the king of
there's
New York,
two
honey.
books,
I'm just
you guys.
saying.
It's like Weasel's got to sell them.
He loves to pimp.
Weasel can sell this shit. So and I'll
It's your forte,
I'll give him
doll.
like I don't know. Make it worth his while. $3 or whatever. I don't know what to fucking do to
We'll
make the
price
guy
it
do
for you. Don't
okay,
worry.
we'll do it.
The titles are again.
It's called The Price of Frontier, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 4-CD digibook about sexual police science. Sexual police science.
Now you're just trying to get me hot.
No. I swear to fucking God, I've
No,
been
I
researching
believe-
police science, not just try and get some intelligence, my darling, on police
yeah, that's why I'm
science.
talking
And
to
guess
you.
what we can't get?
What?
That. I've been researching fucking military intelligence for about 20 years.
And no wonder they're after you.
And I can get I can get Clausewitz and shit, and the Chinese.
All right, well,
police science?
You let
Police
us know.
science, you guys?
Police
Very
sexual
interesting.
knowledge from the police forensics.
Here's the key thing: things that people don't want you to know. You guys, guess what they don't want you to know?
I have
it's
no
like
idea.
they want you to know about rap, and you know what I mean. And it's like what they don't want you to know is about
the
police
shit
science.
they do. The shit they do.
Yeah. So I researched it, and actually, the policemen that I dealt with, and I thought I was going to be killed. Like the most intense drug experiences.
Finally,
was
back to my question.
I went to Tijuana and
Donkey show?
bought liquid ketamine from a veterinary supply. Then I walked
doesn't
back
work on
in.
me.
I would like to hear the story because I know it and it's
All right, so
awesome.
you walk,
Hurry
you
on.
get all this
Can we
liquid.
not interrupt
You
him?
walk back into San Diego.
Okay.
Hurry on, tell the story.
Within 2 seconds, me and my my buddy from Arizona, and we both have Arizona driver's license, by the way. We have blister packs of pharmaceuticals in our socks, and we have intravenous little globulettes, little
Vials.
micro vials of ketamine. So long story short, the mercenary walks up to us, taps our pockets, and he's like, "Go over there." And I'm like, "Why are we so stupid?" Is what I'm thinking. Long story short, we dealt with a customs official who was a black woman, quite a pretty black woman, I might add. And the height of our interrogation, Lydia, we talked our way out of it.
Of course you did.
And we walked with the drugs. Yeah! It was so good.
What did you say to get out of it?
Have you ever had an episiotomy?
No.
That's what I said to the woman. Have you ever had an episiotomy where they cut the bottom of your vagina and your asshole? So like that shouldn't have worked, and it wouldn't work now, but it did then. And she said no, and
you know what? You read that situation.
we read the
Well,
situation.
size and shit up fast.
Yes.
Well, so we've all worked with each other. The only
Do you want to see a picture of my balls?
The
No.
only people that haven't worked together are you two. So
Yeah.
maybe this is a.
I don't think so.
all right.
Well, look, I just worked with him because I have volunteered for
Lydia
the right
Lunch is a shameless pornographer.
You wish I was. Well,
I don't make the news, baby. I just know what
Excuse me,
happened.
when did I ever do pornography? I'm not the one talking about my balls here. You are.
Takes one to know one, hon. Total
That's right. And you know what? You said your balls.
Rochester.
You said your balls were raisins. My legs are spread.
Oh,
End of story.
shit.
Thank you, Nandor. We love you.
Love
Nobody
you,
else
LL.
does, but I love
Roll
you.
credits.
LLSSWWTD.